So hello, how are you doing today?
I'm fine.
Okay, so we've just moved to this place and from Lagos. So we are having a conversation around you starting a new school. We've gone school hunting and we have a school in mind. Don't mention the name of your school, of the school. So one of the things I want to tell you is you are starting a new school. You are going to meet new people that may be different, that may behave differently from the people you knew, your classmates and all of that, or they may behave alike. One of the things that influences how people behave is the environment they live in. This environment is totally different from Lagos. So environment has the way of influencing people. For example, you know that there are very women who ride bikes here, right?
Yep.
In Lagos, I never saw a woman riding the bike in Lagos.
I have seen one woman riding the bike.
Okay.
Yeah.
So
The only time I saw a woman riding a bike was when I was still very small.
okay, so I have never really seen, so that's something. So you can see, if you go outside, you've not gone out much, you will see bikes everywhere, men and women, bikes. In fact, bikes are more than cars, for example. So that's not something you see in Lagos, for example.
Lagos, there are like a billion trillion cars and only like a 30 bikes.
Okay, so what am I trying to say? That the environment determines how people behave generally. So you are going to a new school, you are going to meet different, Ebuka, please look up. You are going to meet different people and the way they behave. Some people will like you, some people will not like you. It is not your fault. When people don't like you, it is not your fault. You know that, right? Some people want to be your friend. Some will not want to be your friend for any reason. Again, it is not your fault. It is not your fault. Now, do you know that because when you get to this school now, you are going to be the new kid in this school? You know that, right? Do you know how it feels in your class in Lagos when you have a new kid in school? A new kid in class. You have new kids coming to your class every now and then, maybe every term or every session. You have a new person in your school, right? This time around, you are going to be the new kid. Do you know how they feel? You have never really changed school, so you may not know how they feel. But sometimes some of them may not want to mix up immediately. Some of them mix up immediately. So this time around, you are going to be a new kid in your school. The thing is, you are also going to have new kids join you. You may not be the only new kids in the class. You may have other new kids also join you, and you are going to have a lot of old children in the class already who already know each other. They already have friends. For example, when you were in Lagos, you had your friends, right? Imagine if you were moving from grade 5 to grade 6. You had your friends. Omorin Sola was your friend, and you had all your friends already. Even Noel, you were going to GSS. Even some of your friends were also moving to your new school, right? It simply means you already have friends. Ebuka, the same thing, right? We are going to grade 2 so some of your friends were going with you. But this time around now, you don't have anybody that is going to a new school class with you. You are just going to be a new child in the class. So when you are a new child in the class, what happens? You are going to try to make friends, right? So I'm very particular with Ebuka. You are going to try to make friends. Do you understand? If you see someone, you feel, okay, this person can be my friend. Not even, I don't know how they are having their seats, but in Lagos, you kind of had one child to a seat, right? But you had someone closest to you. So this time around, I don't know if they are going to have one child to a seat or they are going to have more than one child on the seat. But you can have the next person close to you. You can meet the person and greet the person. Hello, my name is Pearl Rebo and I'm new in this school. Are you new or you're an old student? The person will tell you, okay, I'm old. I did my grade 5 of my 4th year. You say, okay, fine. I'd like to know more about the school. Do you mind showing me around or telling me more about the school? You meet someone and say that. Ebuka, do you understand? You tell the next person, Hello, it doesn't mean that person will be your friend eventually. If the person is not a person that has good character, the person doesn't have to be your friend, right? But what happens is you just meet someone, you introduce yourself. Hello, my name is Iyoma, and I'm a new student in this school. I'm quite new. And are you new? Are you new? Each person says yes, and you can say, okay, we can learn about the school together. So I'm just trying to familiarize myself. I'm trying to meet with someone who is not new here so that we can they can tell me more about the school and show me around. Do you understand? So you always have to be bold. Don't keep quiet. Don't sit back and keep quiet and expect that someone will come and don't. I know after a while you are definitely going to have friends, but I want you to not to keep quiet, to be outgoing, to show that you have social skills. You can walk up to someone, right? Fantastic. So you were going to say something. Let's hear you.
I forgot.
Okay, let's hear you.
Has really experienced changing schools.
Okay, yes, when he was in, that was when he was in baby class. So he may not have remembered all of that now. So we are looking at, he's going to grade 2 now. This is a big boys class, right, Google? So we are talking about, and I actually want Yoma to make friends for himself. You know, you don't tease people, don't stay back and just be to yourself. You know, you're in a new school, you make friends with people, you speak to people, you make eye contact. Do you understand that? So has something to say. Okay, let's hear you.
I have to say, like, is it possible that let's say you just change school and for some reason your teacher doesn't like you at all?
Okay. You just get into a school and your teacher doesn't like you.
No, like after a while when you're used to your classmates and stuff, and sometimes the teacher will be very angry at you for no reason. Like he just doesn't like the students.
Okay, have you not experienced that before?
I still remember.
Has anybody experienced that? Do you know anybody who has experienced that before? Maybe in your former school?
I've read it in a book.
Okay, so which book is that?
Ben Carson.
Okay, whose teacher didn't like?
Ben Carson's medical school teacher told him that he should drop out of school.
Was it because he didn't like him?
Yes.
Or was it because he didn't like him or because he was struggling?
It was because he was struggling. Ben Carson came to him and told him that he was struggling. So he said he should drop out of school, that he has other amazing things he can do. That he should leave medical doctoring.
Okay.
I've actually read it in one of the books called Harry Potter. Because one of the teachers didn't like him because he has read about his history and his parents were wizards.
Okay. You know, now the teacher has a reason not to like him because the parents were wizards. So maybe the teacher,
an expert.
maybe the teacher did not. The teacher was
nobody.
Being a wizard is not something good in this part of the world, really. So the teacher had a reason. So let's go back to.
But the teacher is also a wizard teaching wizardry.
Okay, let's go to Ben Carson. I don't know about that Harry Potter thing. I don't even have details about it. So let's go to Ben Carson, for example. He was struggling. Now, there are different reasons a teacher may pick on a child. One of the reasons I always tell you that self-respect is important, right? And what did I say it means?
If you respect yourself, others respect you.
So I always say that carry yourself in the way that people treat you the way you desire to be respected. I always tell you that. Because, for example, you are in the class and your teacher has said, don't make noise. Because when you are making noise, you are disturbing the teacher. You are disturbing your other classmates. You know, you are not allowing the class flow. You are causing a major distraction. And the teacher is there to impact. And I always tell you, you are in school to learn, right? If you don't learn, you have wasted your time in school. Now, if your teacher doesn't teach you, if your teacher has taught and you have not learned, your teacher has wasted his time, you have wasted your time, your parents' resources have wasted. It would have been better you spent that time playing. It would have been better you spent that time playing. So, for example, teachers don't want to waste their time, and they don't want to waste your time, and they know that their school and the principal and the school and the parents hold them responsible for how the child learns. So they want to make sure that the environment is always such that everybody can learn. So they don't want you to make noise. So if you are making noise, your teacher might get angry, right? And they want to take it out on you. They want, if you are making noise, the teacher will find a reason. They'll find a reason not to like you because you are making noise. That's one thing. And another thing is, because you are making noise, you are distracting yourself. You are distracting other children too. You are not learning, other children will not be learning. Imagine if you are teaching someone something, maybe you teach this week, next week, you keep teaching and teaching and teaching, and you ask the person doesn't know it. The teacher gets upset that the person doesn't know it still. That means I've been wasting my time teaching all along, you know. So that is why you will always obey your class rules. Of course, except if the class rules are what?
Bad things.
They are bad things.
Like, except if the class rules are just jumping out the window, schooling under people's notes, running away from school.
Writing love letters to other people.
So what other bad things should you not do in school, Ebuka?
Oh, one thing happened in my school when we were in grade 4. People were writing love letters to each other. Eventually, one boy caught them and then he reported. One of them was pleading that he should not report and he reported.
Okay, because that's not
Even in my
right.
5th grade.
He started with somebody from his 5th grade.
You were writing love letters.
To
So
each other.
Okay. So that's
Then he started to grade 2.
at grade 2 to wrote love letters.
And
Really?
I thought one of the classmates telling the other one that so person loves the other person.
Really?
Yes.
And
Whoa.
the funny part is that
Okay, I think you mentioned it then. Yes, you told me.
from grade 5, you went to grade 4, you went to grade 3, you went to grade 2.
And that's
Okay.
where it stopped.
And that's not what you should be part of, right?
almost gone to grade 1.
And that's not what you should be part of. So that's what we are talking about.
Then before there were rumors about nursery doing it.
They were what?
Rumors about
Rumors about
nursery doing it.
Rumors about what?
Nursery doing it.
Okay, let's go on what we are saying. So I was saying that, so if you don't behave yourself, for example, your teacher has class rules. They will say, put your books in a particular place. Eat when it's time to eat. When you finish, do this. Just follow class rules. Of course, I said the class rules are not good rules. They are bad rules. You can stand up and say, hey, I'm not comfortable with this. And if the teacher insists, you can go and tell your HM that, okay, this teacher is asking me to flog another student. For example, I'm not comfortable flogging another student. You go and tell your HM. And if your HM doesn't take action, you come and tell me. When you get home, you will always tell me everything that happens. Then, if it's not something that if it's not something that aligns with our rules, then we are going to say no. We'll go back to the school and say, hey, we are not taking this. And if the school is not ready to adjust, then we are going to. They are not the only school. We can always look for another school that actually aligns with our own. So my point is, always follow your class rules. Do you understand? Obey class rules. Obey class rules and obey your teachers. Of course, except if your teacher asks you to do something that is not nice. Your teacher asks you to play with their private parts, or they want to play with your private parts. You know that is a what?
No.
Is a very big no. They want to see your private parts. They want you to see their private part. Is a big what?
No.
Your teacher tells you to go and tell a lie. Is a big what?
No.
They ask you to go and fight. Is a big what?
No.
Maybe they ask you to go and maybe they'll say go and put that something in somebody's food. It may be poison. You don't know. Is a big what?
No.
You know all of that. Yes, please.
In my class, when I was in grade 2 something, I don't remember the class where I was in there, but some people will be saying, come and see the boxers I'm wearing.
That is a big what?
No.
Is a big what?
No.
Your boxers is your private organ. Are you supposed to show people? It's your privacy. You have something. You know, in Lagos, you have the out of bound compartment, right? We don't allow anybody to enter. Your boxers are your out of bound properties. Don't allow anybody to see. And your singlets too. Okay. So I was saying, and your teacher tells you to go and take something from somebody's bag, to go and steal. You are going to stand up, make eye contact, and say, excuse me, ma'am, I am not comfortable with this. I'm not comfortable doing this. So for that reason, I'm sorry.
I'm not comfortable doing this. This is not the right thing.
Good. This is not what I was taught to do, and I'm sorry, I'm not going to be able to do it. If they say if you don't do it, you beat you, just don't bother. When you get home, you report to me. You report to me. Nobody has the right to beat you. Nobody has the right to yell at you for something that is not. Once you did not do anything wrong, you know you have not done anything wrong, then nobody has a right to smack you or yell at you. That's self-respect. Do the right thing. But you already know what is right and what is not right, right? You know how to, your relationship with your teachers. Your classmates, the same thing. You have your family values, right? What's our family values? We are the
rebels.
We are the
Rebels.
We are the
Rebels.
O is for what?
Obedience to God.
Obedience to God. You always want to do things that will obey God, things that show that you are in obedience to God. So before you do anything, what do you say? What do you ask yourself?
What would Jesus
No,
say about
what will Jesus do, and what does God think?
about it?
What will God say about this thing? What does God think about this, and what will Jesus do? So before you do anything, you always ask yourself, what will Jesus do? If Jesus was in your school and somebody was doing this to him or her, what will he do? Okay, the next one is what?
Right attitude.
Right. What is your right attitude towards school?
Happiness.
Okay.
Excited.
Making friends.
Making friends, most especially studying. You are in school to do what?
Study.
What is your goal for going to school?
Study.
Your goal, yes, please.
And the word student was derived from the word study.
Fantastic. High five. The word Google high five. Who wants to high five again? Okay. And the word student was derived from. That's fantastic. So you are in school to study. So the right attitude towards study is to be excited about studying. Do you understand?
Yes.
Always learn. When your teacher is teaching, what do you do?
Listen attentively.
When you don't understand, what do you do?
Ask questions.
Remember, you have not learned. Your time in school is a waste if you don't learn. You are going to school to learn. If you don't learn, your time in school is a waste. You have wasted your entire time. That is the truth. You have wasted all that time. Catch it. You have wasted all that time. Even your teacher has wasted all her time, all his time. Your teacher earns salary. Your teacher is supposed to just not be teaching. So you're in school to learn. You know, I always tell you, every single thing you do has a purpose. Your purpose of going to school is to what?
Learn.
So if you don't learn, what happens?
You have wasted your purpose.
You have wasted that time. It is better you are just at home playing in that small farm, just playing. Jumping. Injuring and getting your first aid. That is better than just going to school to waste your time. So right attitude in school is pay attention. Distractions will come. Your classmates will make noise, a lot of things, but you know that you need to stay on focused. You need to stay focused.
Activate your focus mode.
And if you don't understand, what do?
You ask questions.
If you don't understand, what do?
Ask questions.
If you don't understand, what do?
Ask questions.
Fantastic. So right attitude.
And you keep asking until you understand.
Yes, you keep asking until you understand. And if you don't get it the first time, what do?
You try again.
If you do your work and you don't get the answer, your teacher says, "Oh, you didn't get it right." What do?
Try again.
Do you go and start crying, or you start feeling bad?
You have to be like
Try
Thomas
and never
Edison,
give up.
who tried the first time. He tried the second time. I don't know how many times he tried.
You tried
but-
10,000 times.
That's what they said.
And then he succeeded.
That
What
is
if you
it.
tried more than 10,000 times?
You keep trying until there's something they used to say in my place, that if you go hunting, if you catch an animal, for example, if the animal doesn't die, don't put it in your bag. Because if you put it in your bag and the animal is not dead, maybe it's a snake, for example, it might bite you. If it's maybe a rabbit, for example,
You will
they may
cause well and escape.
so until the animal dies, you don't put it in your bag. That's what happens. Not until you learn that thing. You don't give up.
Grab it.
Until you grab it, you learn it.
Until you kill the rabbit.
Yes, you don't.
cannot put it in your
Yes,
bag.
you don't give up. That's what it means. Until you learn it, because you're in school to learn. Until you learn it, you do not what? give up. If you are struggling with it, you come back, you are going to say, Mommy, this topic we did in school today, I asked my teacher a question 3 times, I'm still struggling with it. Then we'll go to YouTube, we'll go to Google, we see what we can do and how we can get it right, okay? That is your purpose of being in school. So your right attitude is to make sure you learn what you learn what you are being taught. Do you understand?
Yes.
After right attitude, what's the next one?
Unity.
Unity in...
You have to be united.
You have to be united, yes, as a family. You are going to school, always remember your brother, your brothers, your brother, and your brothers, Nene, your brothers. Ebuka, your brother and sister, Nene, you know your brother and sister, catch it. You know that your siblings. You know that you don't choose anybody else over your siblings, right? Family first all the time. Like I always tell you, when you close from school, you go and look for your siblings. You make sure they are okay. You make sure they are okay. You look for them. You ask them, how was class today? Did you enjoy your first day in school? Okay, mommy is coming soon. Or has mommy come? Do you know where we are waiting for mommy? You go and look for your siblings. You don't finish and jump out and go. You look for your siblings. If your siblings run out of water, what do? You share your water. If they run out of food, what do?
You share your food.
If they tell you something that happened in their class and they are not feeling happy about it, you
show empathy.
You show empathy. You show love. Yes. You just help them feel better. You find out, what can I do to make you feel better?
You share your snacks with them.
If you have snacks, you share with them. What can I do to make you feel better? Do you understand?
Yes.
Let's go on. Empathy. What's the next one? Sorry, unity in love.
Unity.
After unity in love, what's the next one?
Empathy.
Empathy. We've talked about empathy. You know empathy. Now, when it comes to empathy, people around you.
Boldness before empathy.
No, empathy before boldness. So the people around you, in your classmates, you show them love. You show them kindness. You show them empathy. I always tell you, something happens to someone, don't say good for you.
Don't laugh.
Don't laugh at them. Don't mock them. You see people not the way you are. Maybe they look different. Don't laugh at them. God created everyone with a purpose. You see people, they don't have things as fancy as you are, as you have. It doesn't make any difference. They are able to do what they are doing. They are in school for a purpose. If people don't have fancy things, it doesn't stop them from learning. They're in school to learn.
Sorry.
Let's go. Okay, so we're still talking on empathy. Like I've always told you, it simply means putting yourself in other people's shoes. What you know that you don't like people doing to you, don't do it to other people. For example, if you answer questions wrongly, and you know that when people start laughing, you don't like it, then when people answer questions wrongly, don't
Laugh.
If you know that your thing is not so fancy, and when people start laughing at you, you don't like it, don't also laugh at people if their things are not so fancy. Do you understand? If you know, just don't do things to people that are hurtful to them. Remember that God created you to show love, to show kindness, to bring solution. The solution you are bringing to people is to make them happy. So if you are not being kind to people, you are not making them happy. You are hurting them, and God did not create to hurt people. Do you understand?
Yes,
God did not create to hurt people. So you always show empathy. Even to your teacher, you have your pencil or your biro and someone else doesn't have, you share. You know, you share. Empathy to your brother, to your sister, to your parents, to classmates and everyone. Maybe you see a classmate and maybe your classmate trips and falls. What happens? You show empathy to them. You say sorry to them. What can I do? If they are injured, okay, you quickly go and meet your teacher to help them with first aid. You know, you see someone wants to get into like trouble. Maybe they want to touch a dangerous item. Like for example, Noel is in a secondary school now. You have chemicals in your lab. You have a lab and people are playing dangerous play with chemical. You know that they may get hurt. You can tell your teacher that, hey, these people, they are not mindful of the chemicals, you know, things like that. Empathy. You just show empathy to your classmates. Made. Orue. Okay, what's the next one?
Boldness.
Of course, you are bold.
Be bold, but
You are brave.
You are confident. You are courageous.
You are confident. You are courageous. You are assertive. To be bold simply means that you are not afraid. For example, to make friends in class, you are not afraid to make friends. Do we have tissue downstairs?
No.
Okay. So it means you are not afraid to make friends. That's the thing. You see someone, Ebuka, you see someone, you make eye contact. Like I told you, hello, my name is Pearl and I'm new here. And are you new here? Are you old here? The person says, oh, I'm new. You say, oh, wow, good to know. I'm new here too. You can tell them, okay, we came from Lagos and we are new here. I'd like to know more about the schools. Maybe we can just look for someone to show us around, you know, or someone to tell us more about the school. You know, that is it. Someone to help us get familiar or to get acquainted. You know, you just boldly ask. And your teacher says something, your teacher teaches something or has taught you something you don't understand, you boldly say, excuse me ma'am, please can you come again? Excuse me ma'am, please can you explain? I really don't understand what you are trying to say. I wasn't following ma'am, or I'm following but I'm not getting it. Do you understand? You ask questions. That's part of boldness. You ask questions. Another thing about boldness is your mates are doing something that is not right. It's bold for you to say, no, that's not the right thing. I'm not doing it. Even if they want to laugh at you, even if they want to say they will gang up and they will not be your friends again, it's boldness for you to say, no, I'm not doing it. It's not what I want to do, so I am not doing it. That's boldness, to be able to stand for the truth and defend the truth. Someone is bullying you, say, no. You stand up to the person. You can't bully me, I cannot be bullied. It takes boldness. Do you understand? It takes courage. And maybe you have a tough question, you say, this math question is so tough. It's so tough. It takes boldness to face it. You are a math question. You are a villain. I'm the hero. I'm going to defeat you. Let's fight. You bring the math textbook out. Let's fight. If you defeat me right now, there's no problem. When I get home, I'm going to tell my mommy. We're going to go to YouTube. We're going to go to Google. We're going to ask questions. And we are going to defeat you. And if it's still difficult, we are going to get a private tutor. We are going to defeat you. You know? You are the hero, and the math question or the English verb question or any question you are struggling with is what? Is what, Ebuka? Is the villain. Do you understand? Yes. So there is also boldness for you to say, this topic is so difficult. This topic is so difficult, but now I'm going to defeat it. It also takes courage, bravery to go ahead with something that is challenging you. And another thing he wants to do is, I always tell you, be assertive. Open your mouth and speak boldly. Open your mouth and speak what?
Boldly.
Boldly.
And when you are talking, don't fumble with things.
High five. Make eye contact, and when you have something to say it boldly. Don't start chewing your words or looking at the floor. Say it boldly. Like I always say, no one has the right to yell at you or smack you for asking questions. No one has the right to yell at you or smack you for saying, no, you are not doing something that is not right. Just respect yourself all the time. And you know what self-respect means, right? Respect yourself all the time. After respecting yourself, then be bold. As long as you have respected yourself, no one has a right to treat you less than you desire or less than you deserve. Do you understand? Respect yourself and be assertive. Make eye contact. Talk boldly. Smile when you need to smile. Do you understand? No one has the right to hush you. No one can hush you. People can only hush when you allow them to hush you. If you are doing something, if someone does something to you, tell the person you don't like it. I don't like it. Don't do that. I don't like it. I take an exception to that. What do you say to them? I take an exception to that. You don't do it. If they do it the first time, you just tell them you don't like it. You leave there. They do the second time, tell them you don't like it. They will stop. But if they do, you say, no, stop it. Or you are angry in your mind. You are not telling them to stop. They will not know because they are not witches. They cannot enter inside of you to go and know what is in your mind, right? Yes. So they will not stop. So anything you know you are not comfortable with, maybe somebody snatches something from you, don't like it, just tell them, I don't like it, don't snatch from me. If you want to take something from me, ask me nicely. Ask me nicely. Ask me if you can have it. Can I have this? I'll say yes or no, and that is it. Don't snatch from me. If somebody pushes you, tell them, no, don't push me. I don't like it. You want to pass? Let me know you want to pass. Do you understand? Yes. So the more you assert yourself boldly, the more people will come to say, oh, that's how this girl is, and they will respect you for that. But if you don't allow assert yourself, you are complaining. Why are you pushing me now? Why are you pushing me now? They will say you are weak. Number one, you are weak. You can't defend yourself. So they will keep doing you. Everybody doing it to you. Everybody will conclude that you are weak, and everybody will want to take turns. You know, I've talked to you about bullying before. One thing that happens is when you allow one person to bully you, before you say what is happening, everybody will start bullying you. Because everybody will now start experimenting with you. They'll start bullying you. Do you understand? That is why you don't allow anyone to bully you. And of course, bullying is not part of empathy, right? You don't bully people. Okay. Apart from boldness, what is the next one? Open-mindedness. Open-mindedness.
Your mind has to be open.
Wait, before anybody says anything, how come it's only me that say the full meaning of everything?
Okay, no, I will say the last one.
Your mind has to be open-minded to what you are learning.
Yes. You don't know everything. Remember that all
you know is all you know is all you know. All you know is all there is to know. So you can sometimes be wrong.
Yes, all that you know is all that you know. But all that you know is not all there is
to know.
And you can sometimes be
wrong.
That is why you need to be open-minded.
That's why you need to be open-minded.
Open-minded to learning. It simply means that when someone corrects you, you are going to say, oh, thank you. Even when you don't believe what they have said, just say, oh, thank you. When you get back home, you are going to research. Mommy, someone says this one in class today. Is it true? Let's find out if it's true. Do you understand? Good. So someone says, oh, you stepped on me. You may not have realized you stepped on them. You don't even argue. You just say, oh, sorry. Saying sorry take anything away from you? No. It won't take anything away from you. So open-mindedness helps people to learn and grow. People that are close-minded, they think they know everything. Catch it. They think they know everything. They don't grow because they believe they know everything, so they will never grow. Let me give a practical example. For example, this door is closed, right? Okay, let's say for example, this ante-room door is closed. Ante-room door is closed. Someone will say, oh, maybe the person always passing the back. The person will say that this is the only door in the house. This is the entrance door. This is the entrance door. And then somebody else will say, no, there is no entrance. That's not the entrance door. That's the ante-room door. There's another entrance door there. If somebody has been in this house all their life, for example, and this door is locked, we don't know there's another door here.
No.
They will not know if this door is locked. If this door is closed, the person is inside the house. The person has never passed here. This door is locked.
Oh, you said they have been here all their life.
If they've been here all their life, but this door is locked, they have never passed there. They have never passed to this side or passed out of here. How would they know there's another door here?
Actually, they will still know there's another door there because before they can get out of the house, they have to pass the back and turn around, so they know there's another door.
That's why I say they have been here all their life. They have never passed here. They have never passed here.
Outside.
Yes. Like inside here all their life.
They will never know there's a door.
They will never know.
They'll keep arguing that's the entrance door.
But is there another door?
Yes.
Yes.
They'll think this place is already outside.
That is it. So maybe somebody now enters from outside and says, when I was coming, I saw a black door in front. If they are closed-minded, what would they say?
They'll say, it's not a black door, it's a brown door.
The person will say, I saw a black door. It looks like a metal door. They will say, no, it's a brown door. They'll keep arguing. But if they are open-minded, they will say, really? Let's go and find out. Where did you see the brown door? Where did you see the black door? Where did you take that you saw the black door? And the person will take them around and show them the black door. And they say, oh, I never knew. And then they will know that there is another door. I just use this house, for example, because it's something that is quite handy. That is how it is. Let's look at people like Thomas Edison and all of that. When they were making their when they were making their, when Edison was making his light bulb, for example, he made mistakes several times, right? If he had said, this thing, I don't think there's nothing like light bulb. Nah, we cannot have a light bulb. If he wasn't open-minded, he would not try other things. It's only the first time he got it wrong. You say, it's not possible. There will be nothing like light bulb. Because
somebody else would have done it, got it, and then that person will be known for making it.
Yes.
And then you just be the person known for trying a light bulb once and giving up. So
that he may not have even been known. Nobody may have even known him. Because it was because the light bulb worked that he got interviewed, and he told people how many times he made it. If the light bulb hadn't worked, nobody probably would have interviewed him and nobody would have known. So that's what I'm trying to say. So the first time he tried, it didn't work, and then he said, okay, this did not work now. What am I going to do? What am I going to do? Maybe I should go and find out more. He knew that all that he knew was all that he knew. All that he knew was not giving him result. All that he knew was not all there was to know about making light bulb. He knew that to make light bulb, he had to know more. So what did he do? He went to search for more, being open-minded. In school, you are taught something you do not understand. You are going to meet your classmates. Anyone that understands it better, you can ask them, hey, I'm struggling with this math question. Do you understand math? Are you good at math? Can you please help me out? Your teacher is less busy. You're going to meet your teacher. Good afternoon, ma'am, or good afternoon, sir. Please, I'm struggling with this math question. I know I've been taught, but I'm still struggling with you. Please, can you help me with a step-by-step breakdown of how to go about it? Do you understand? That's what you're in school for. You should be able to catch that yawn. You should be open-minded to learning all the time. When you're open-minded to learning, you are going to achieve a great deal. And the last R is what? Role models. Now remember, we are the rebels, and the rebels are what? Role models. It simply means that you don't follow the crowd to do what they are doing. Then please drop that.
Except the crowd is doing the right thing.
Yes. Otherwise, you are a role model, a pace setter. Yes, please.
And just because of you want to be a role model, that doesn't mean that if the crowd is doing the good thing, the right thing, you don't want to copy. You don't want to copy them. Do the right thing. Like now, if there's rice in the cooler and there's now poison somewhere, the person now takes rice. The person does not. You don't want the person to say that you're not a role model, that you're a copycat. You will not take the poison. You just get and harming yourself.
Yes, role model means you are an inspiration. Like a model. Those. Excuse me. Like if you're watching a fashion, you used to watch fashion show, right?
Yeah.
Okay, models. What happens if a fashion designer designs new clothes? They'll give it to people to wear. Those clothes are models. Those people are models. They are modeling the clothes. They are showing people how this cloth will fit on you. If you wear this cloth, this cloth is so beautiful. If you wear it, it's going to fit on you like this. That's model. You show people good example. You lead. Now you are not just. You are now a role model. Role means position, play your part. The part you are playing. So you are a role model. People look up to you for inspiration. That is what it means. For you to be a role model, it simply means that you have to have an excellent spirit in you. There is something that stands you out. You know what I always say, that everyone, anything you can do, many people can do it, right?
Yes.
A lot of
stands you out to make is that you do it excellently.
Everything. Anything you are doing, you think you draw, there are 1,000 people that can draw. You think you can spell very well. There are 1,000. You saw spelling bee in Aquila. People that came to the hall to spell. Were there not 600 people?
No, 300.
There were 300 people. Imagine that. So what happens? What stands you out is, yes, please.
No, the first one there were 300, and the second one there were 2,000.
Okay, imagine 2,000 people. That is very many people can spell. But what stands you out? Only one person.
Out was because she practiced spelling and she
Yes. excellence was what stood her out. She was excellent at what at spelling. That's because she practiced. So you are a role model. It simply means that you stand out. You stand out on the positive side. You stand out to inspire. Do you understand? People look up to you. People look up to you. So being a role model means you stand out.
You are seen.
You are heard. You know what is right, and you do it. That is being a role model. Everybody may be doing something. As long as that thing is right, you do not do it. Sometimes very many people can be doing something that is not right. Even the Bible says, do not follow the multitude to commit sin. What does that mean? Multitude means a very many people. So it means that very many people can be doing what is not right. Only you will know that, nah, this thing is not right. I will not do it. For example, in the classroom, everybody may be jumping up and down.
Why?
Yes, please.
You sang multitude of that song written by the Lord that said, Lord, I stand in the midst of a multitude. By the blood of the Lamb.
Okay, so that is it. It means that everybody may be doing something that is not right. You shouldn't join them to do it.
Like now, your teacher told them not to take this thing from the
chemistry lab.
Science lab where they were doing mixture.
Experiment.
Yes. What that they should not touch anything there, and everybody is there. When the teacher leaves, when everybody is looking at it, touching it, and playing with it, you are the only person standing at the role model.
Yeah, you are the role model.
You get into trouble. Stop touching it.
So you always know that you always know what is right, and then you do them. That is role model. That's our last for the value. So even if you want to make somebody your friend, like I always say, you are the one that will choose your friends, not your friends will choose you. Catch it.
Like that saying says, show me your friend and I'll tell you who you are.
Fantastic, because evil communication corrupts good manners. If you have friends that are doing bad stuff, one day they are going to tempt you.
Just like if you have friends that are always smoking and drinking alcohol, one day they will tempt you and then you'll be tempted to do it.
You may want to say, let me even see how it feels like, and there are some drinks and alcohol and smoking things, substances they smoke that are really addictive. I was listening to one day, I was watching one, they said only one day somebody will just taste it, it will become addicted, the person will become addicted to it.
And do you know the problem? Once you have started, it is hard to stop.
So that is why you do not follow. This brings us to the end of our back to school orientation. Now remember that the first thing you want to do now is to set your goals. You set your goals. Hopefully when we come back and we are going to make another video, talk about a few other things. But for now, what you want to do is to set your goals. You are going to write your back to school affirmation. You are going to get your anchor scripture. We are going to learn about self-discipline that will help you excel in school. We are going to learn about self-motivation that will help you excel in school. Those are the things we are going to do. I'm going to give you exercise books and we are going to treat all of these things. And then we are going to start by setting our daily goals. And of course, our back to school structure remains.